We're going to be predicting Survivor Series this Friday. So I'll put a link up for that. It'll be 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. We'll come up just a little bit before SmackDown goes live, and I will predict the entire War Games card and what I think is going to happen. But as I've been mentioning in every podcast, and I'm not saying I'm right about this. I'm not like trying to harp on this because I want so badly to be right about it. I'm thinking from the perspective of a fan of Damien Priest, of someone who likes his work and thinks he's been doing a good job. And he's running around there with a Money in the Bank briefcase right now. And the Crown Jewel, a lot of people are like, oh, he should cash in. And I'm like, I don't know. It's Crown Jewel. Roman's got a defense on the show. There's a lot going on. I don't know if I'm doing it there. I would want Damien Priest cash in to either be, in the final segment of a Monday Night Raw, on TV where he's the last thing you see, or a main event of a pay-per-view. And here we have Survivor Series War Games that is literally set up so perfectly with all of the requirements that Greg, needs for a championship to change hands are all there. There's no other championships that are taking the spotlight away from this. Roman Reigns is not even on the show. Gunther is not going to lose to The Miz. Rhea Ripley is not going to lose to Zoe Stark. Those championships are in no jeopardy. You have a War Games match in the main event. The champion is in this match, along with the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And there's so many variables here. McIntyre just went to the dark side. Randy Orton is going to be joining Cody, but we don't know Randy Orton's true intentions either. This is the Viper. This is the guy who will turn on you out of nowhere. It's kind of his thing. So can you really trust that he can be reliable in that? What if there's some, that miscommunication I always complain about when wrestlers accidentally hit each other and they get all pissed, like they don't understand that sometimes things like that happen. What if Seth Rollins accidentally hits Orton and then boom, he hits an RKO on Seth Rollins or something like that? Or maybe that happens after the match. Maybe Randy Orton just RKOs Seth Rollins for no reason. Takes him right out after the baby faces win, because I think the baby faces will win. And then after the match, maybe Randy hits an RKO on Seth Rollins as the baby faces are all out of the cage already. There you go. Dinner is served, and Priest is kind of looking around like kind of shocked. Okay. Hands the briefcase to the referee. Bell's underway. Priest picks him up, whatever his finisher is, and new champion. And Priest closes out the show holding the title. It doesn't have to be Randy Orton to be a part of this. Randy Orton's probably going to remain babyface through this, but don't rule out him turning heel. I think that's possible as well. So with all those variables, it just feels like, even with the babyface team winning, which I think they will, I think Cody isn't going to lose the first time he's in his dad's match. I just don't feel like he is. I think he should gig. I think it'll be fun. Just this once. Come on, Triple H, please. So I don't think the babyfaces are going to lose here. Plus, Drew won tonight, gave them the advantage. So I think it's going to be a situation where the face team is going to win, but then the heels are going to win even bigger at the end. The faces are going to win the battle. Heels are going to win the war. And Damien Priest could close out Survivor Series as the new World Heavyweight Champion. This is where I would do it. So I just want to make it clear that I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not guaranteeing you it's going to happen. I don't know. I'm not in WWE creative meetings. But when I'm thinking of the ways I like to see championships change hands, when I look for all of the variables to be in place, I don't like to rush them or hotshot them or shoehorn them in. I like them to have their own kind of focus. And what better way to do a cash-in when you're already in a violent match? The champion is vulnerable, as are you. A lot of people brought up a good point that Priest could just get injured in the match. And that's something they should think about doing, because the previous times that Priest has had an opportunity to cash in, I've said they better do something that makes him incapable of cashing in. And that's when Ripley took the briefcase from him and then Sami Zayn stole it. Remember? They kept doing shit like that. So if they don't want Priest create internally in WWE, if they're not ready to pull the trigger on Priest yet, then you need to do something in War Games that kind of takes him out of the equation in terms of a cash in. Injure his leg, something like that, to where he's really not in the position to cash in, and it's not really going to be a threat. Otherwise, we are going to fucking see a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion at the end of Survivor Series. I'm convinced it's where I would do it, and I hope it happens. So we will find out if I'm right or not.